Good morning, welcome to Sunday School. Last week we were thinking about how God is faithful and how with his help we can be faithful too. Today we're going to dig a little bit deeper and think about promises. So I've got some pictures to show you. So the first one is a boy saying, "I will clean my room." And can you see that second picture? Is he working hard to clean his room? Has he kept his promise? What do you think? Playing a game by the look of it, isn't he? I don't think his room is very tidy. Let's try another one. Right, this one says, "Thanks for promising to keep working." I wonder if this is in a school. So the grown-up said, "Thank you for promising to keep working, but oh dear, is there a lot of work happening in that picture?" I don't think that promise was kept either. I've got one more picture. Let's have a look. The bubble here says, "I will remember God's word." There's a girl under a tree and she's got her Bible. She says, "I will remember God's word." And then what's she doing? She's reading it. That's a promise being kept. Well, I'm glad we had a good one at the end. Have you ever broken a promise to someone? Well, how do you feel if someone makes a promise to you and then doesn't keep it? It's really not a good feeling. It can really upset us when someone doesn't keep a promise. A promise is telling someone that you definitely will do something or something definitely will happen. And you know what? God keeps his promises to us. We should keep our promises to God too. Hannah's prayer. Hannah loved God. She wanted to have a baby, but she wasn't able to have any children. Hannah and her husband went to the tabernacle and she prayed to God, "If you will give me a baby boy, I will see that he serves you all his life." Eli was a priest. He saw Hannah praying. She explained, "I'm crying out to the Lord because I want him to answer my prayer." Eli gently told her, "Go in peace, and may God give you what you ask for." Sure enough, Hannah and her husband had a baby boy. They thanked God for their new son and they named him Samuel. When Samuel was a little boy, Hannah brought him to live at the tabernacle. She had promised God that Samuel would serve him all his life. The priest Eli would now take care of Samuel and he would teach Samuel all about God. We've just heard the story of Hannah, who made a very special promise to God. Let's see how well you can remember the story. A couple of questions. Are you ready? First question. How was Hannah feeling at the start of the story? Was she really happy? Was she worried? Was she frightened? Do you know? Shout it out if you know. She was very, very sad, wasn't she? Question 2. What did Hannah pray so hard to God for? Was she praying for sunshine? Was she praying that somebody would get better? What did she want more than anything? A baby. That's what she really wanted. Question 3. God gave Hannah a son, but what did she name him? Can you remember? If you said Simon, you're not right, I'm afraid. If you said Solomon, you're not right either, I'm afraid. She named him Samuel. Last question. Did Hannah keep her promise? Yes, she did. Hannah prayed and made a promise to God, and God answered Hannah's prayer. Hannah then showed her faithfulness by keeping her promise to God. It was probably really hard for Hannah to keep her promise, but she did it, and we should try and keep our promises to God too.
Hannah kept her promise to God. Her actions honoured or pleased God. So let's think of some promises we could make and keep. I could promise to be kind. I could promise to tell the truth. I could promise to serve God. I could promise to obey. I could promise to put God first. I could promise to pray more. I could promise to read my Bible regularly. So these drops of colour represent the different promises we can make to God. Let's see what happens when we keep these promises. When we keep our promises to God, good and beautiful things happen, just like the colours swirling together in this milk. Other people can see how much we love God. God sees how much we love him. We should keep our promises to God. We please God when we keep our promises to obey and serve him. So let's play a game and think about some of the ways that we can serve him. In this bag I've got some different coloured shapes. Every time I pull out a red shape, we're going to have a think of some of the promises we could make to God. So if I pull out a red shape, I want you to have a think as well about what promises you could keep. Let's see what colour comes out first. Oh, blue one, so leave that one there. A red one. Okay, so what promise could I try and keep to God this week? Maybe I could try to make sure I read my Bible every day. Okay, let's see what's next. Green shape, I'm going to use another red one. Here we go, a red one. So this week I could promise to be kind to other people. So, another red one. This week I could promise to put God first in everything I do. And the last one, it's a blue one. So this week your challenge is, just like I did then, to think about some promises that you could keep to God all week. God really loves it when we keep our promises to him, it pleases him. So this week I want you to think, maybe you could keep one of the promises that I've just talked about. Maybe there's a specific situation you think you need to keep some promises in. Maybe you need to be kind to a brother or sister. Maybe there's an adult that you need to promise to obey. So have a think about that and see if you can try really hard to keep your promises to God this week. See you next week.